G'day guys, welcome back to what from now on I will be calling the Fanatics podcast. Um, at the moment, this is only on YouTube at the moment. In down the track, I'll be once I've got everything I need to have this going properly. Um, I'll have it also as an audio form down the track. But yeah, for the time being, this is only on YouTube. I'm calling it the Fanatics podcast because basically talking all things Dolphins pretty much. So I thought that'd be fitting. So the first thing I will talk about today is signing news recently. So it's been a big one this week. With only yesterday it was announced, or last night, or yesterday afternoon, Morgan Knowles from from St Helens has been signed for so far 2 years for the 26 and 27 seasons. Um, he's an English international. He's played for St Helens for the last. Actually, I haven't looked into how long he's been playing there for, but he did play under Christian Wolf in the three Super League premierships that they won. So Wolfie knows what he's getting there from Morgan Knowles. He's from what I've seen in highlight packages, he's mostly a lock, but I think also he could probably play back row and potentially also as like just a middle forward. Only earlier on the same day, it was announced that Kurt Donahue, or Donga as we know him as, extended until 2027. It's really good for the Finns. That someone like Donga has extended till then. He's probably the most versatile player I think in the whole squad. Like being able to play hooker, being able to play fullback. Pretty sure he's played wing in Q Cup as well. Plays in the halves for Fiji. And I've also seen him like in Q Cup and that playing lock, playing back row. So yeah, he can basically play anywhere in the team except for front row. Although he'd have a crack if he did anyway. And also Max Plath earlier in the week extended until 2028. I believe he was already signed until 27. So he's extended a further year till 2028. That's yeah, big for the Dolphins. That means they've got Plath until 28. I'm pretty sure Tommy Gilbert signed until 2028, I think, at the moment. They got the Hammer until 27. They got Isaiah Katoa until 28. And I think they've got Marshall King until 27 or 28. I'll have to look back into that again. I'm pretty sure like the core, like spine, and leadership guys, like long term moving forward, they're all signed like at least for the next few years. So that's pretty good for the club moving forward, especially with like the older guys like Jesse Bromwich retiring in the last season. They've got Mark Nichols, Felice Kafusi, Kenny Bromwich. Those older heads like that, they're probably potentially on their last year coming into this year. So there's a bit of a changing of the guard starting to happen a little bit. The older guys finishing up, and they're getting the young guns to sign on and extend for at least 3 or 4 year deals, which is pretty handy. There's also during the week they announced Sebastian Sewer, a young gun prop from the Knights as well, signed until 2027. Haven't seen much of him myself. Like when he's played for the Knights, I think he's only. I don't even know if he's actually played in the NRL yet. I think he's pretty much just played in New South Wales Cup from what I know of. He may have played 1 or 2 games, but I haven't actually noticed him. And so that's basically the signing news. The recent signing news anyway. So yesterday they unveiled a new jersey, which is a new heritage jersey for 2025. It's pretty much the design is based on the 1965 BRL premiership winning jersey. Obviously, because of like how old the other jersey is, obviously it's not gonna the new jersey doesn't look like exactly the same, obviously, but the design's based off it. I reckon it's a pretty good one. I like it. I'll probably get it. I'll probably get one of them soon. Like I've already got the home jersey for this year, the away jersey, the black jersey. I've already got one of those from last year, so won't be getting a new one of those. But yeah, it was also announced yesterday Tommy Gilbert is going to be the captain. Something that a lot of people predicted. Even I probably would have predicted it too. Yeah, TG13, new skipper. Even though he's coming back from an ACL, which he sustained in the trials back in 2024, and then he missed from after, was it round 11 in 2023 with a shoulder injury that he got in game 1 of Origin. So he hasn't actually played any games for the Dolphins in the NRL since like round 11 of 2023. But yeah, he's noted as being a leader when it comes to like at training and everything like that. Yeah, something that a lot of people have noticed about him. So it's probably only fitting that long term, being such a young guy, that he's named skipper moving forward. I really like it. Love Tommy Gilbert as a bloke and as a player. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier for Tommy. Felice Kafusi's vice captain, so probably makes sense that being one of the older guys, and like I suppose he was captain when they had the last trial against the Titans there at KO Stadium. What else is there? Oh yep, Redcliffe Dolphins have junior reps playing at KO Stadium today or this afternoon. Anyone that's keen to get out and see some live footy today. So the young ones getting around, young boys and girls getting around. I suppose during the week also the Hammers shut down rumours of the Cowboys' return. There's been a lot of rumours by people in different pages on social media and different pages like that saying, the Hammer's going to eventually go back to the Cowboys and blah blah blah. But he was asked about it or something during the week in an interview early in the week, and basically said he's never spoken to he hasn't spoken to the Cowboys or anything. He basically shut down all the rumours. Like said, he loves it at the Dolphins, loves being in Redcliffe. So so those rumours can go away now. It's good to hear. Good to hear Hammond's enjoying his time at Redcliffe. On Monday night on Channel 9 Now, there's part 1 of Rise of the Dolphins on Channel 9 and 9 Now, as I said, at 9 p.m. or 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or it'll be probably, I don't know if they're showing it down south or not. Not that it really matters to me, but yeah, if they're showing it down there, it might be at 10 p.m. their time, or whatever, I don't know. But it's at 9 p.m. our time here in Queensland. What else am I going to look at in this? So, probably a little bit of trial talk. So, the young guys, a lot of young guys on development contracts and training trials and Q Cup players played in the first one against the Cowboys up in Cairns, where they came away with a 50-8 win. They showed exactly, I suppose, what the Dolphins are going to be about this year, hopefully. Even though it was just those young guys coming up, like them compared to the guys that played for the Cowboys. The Cowboys had like a couple guys with a lot of NRL, or not a lot of, but a fair bit of NRL experience compared to the guys that had NRL experience for the Dolphins team. Even though there was like maybe 4 or 5 players in the Dolphins team compared to maybe like 3 in the Cowboys team, but the Cowboys players had there was Cohen Hess, who's probably I'm guessing he'd be around close to close to 200 games or something like that in NRL alone. Where like Sean O'Sullivan's like 50 odd games, and then the other few guys have like only a handful of games each in the NRL. So there was more NRL experience for sure on the Cowboys side though. But it just showed how good the young guys coming through, like the academy and the guys on the training trials and the development contracts at the moment. A guy that really stood out was LJ Nonu on the wing, scoring a hat trick of tries. Did he score 3 or 4? Actually, I can't remember. Tavita Nafahu was impressive as well, playing centre, even though he's more of a fullback. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him potentially playing fullback in Q Cup for Redcliffe this year. And there was another one that really stood out. All Blacks Taufa. I'm pretty sure that's how they pronounce it on Fox. He was very, very impressive as well in the back row. Josh Allen in the front row, Ryan Jackson in the front row. They were all pretty impressive. Donga played fullback. Kurt Donahue. He played fullback and looked pretty good. Chimed in the back line as well. Was being a natural half. He's a pretty good ball player. All in all, like the guys that played in that game, Harrison Graham stood out also at dummy half. It'd be good to see if he gets a chance in the NRL, but hopefully, I suppose, unfortunately for him, hopefully, it's not at the. Or he'd only get up to NRL anyway if it was like an injury to Marshall King, which I hope doesn't happen. Because JMK is very important. He's a very important player when it comes to his ball playing at a dummy half, and he's very important to the side. Like over the past couple of years, they've pretty much had that fall off in the back end of the year has been when Marshall King's been out with his injuries. Well, that's one thing that I noticed anyway during that back end of the year when Dolphins have faded out from being in a decent position on the ladder, and they've had a whole heap of losses, and that they've ended up having. It's been when Marshall King's been out injured. So even though like last season, Max Platt stood up and was playing like 80 minutes at dummy half. While Marshall King was out, like he did a great job and everything, but it's not his best position, and he's obviously at the club. He's not the best dummy half, obviously, but like JMK's by far probably the best dummy half at the club. And even was it Ewan Aitken was on an episode of Bloke talking to Denton Kemp. Even he said like the most important player at the Dolphins is Jeremy Marshall King, which I agree with. The second trial was at KO Stadium in Redcliffe. I was there in person as well, watching it in the crowd. The atmosphere was great as usual. I love going home to Redcliffe to watch the live footy. Nothing better in my opinion. The boys went down 26-18, so all in all, the result's not great that they lost, but nothing really to be too upset about. One or two guys didn't really impress me that much, but I suppose it's only a trial at the end of the day. They're just getting the cobwebs out, ready for the season proper. The Hammer had a few moments during the game in the 50 to 60 minutes that he was on the field for. There was one time in the first half where I think it was when AJ Brimson scored his first try. I'm pretty sure he scored one in the second half as well. The Hammer was just like, it was like Hammer wasn't even there when he went on to score that try in the first half. I thought that was a bit weird. In the second half, I think there was another time where I think that was also Brimson that scored the try in the second half as well, and it was just like, I don't know, for me, when you're at fullback, you just go for the guy with the ball. And if he passes it, he passes it, and someone runs and like a support player runs off to score the try, whatever. He just basically got turned inside out, and just like was left there with looking a bit silly. Um, yeah, I thought that was another shocking moment for him. And then there was one not only a couple of minutes before that where I think it was Jojo Fafita scored in the corner. All he did was like give him a little push, um, instead of like fully going in for like to try to tackle him out. He just gave him a little push, and yeah, it wasn't enough to stop him from scoring a try. I thought that was a pretty poor effort in that moment. But other than those few moments, he was actually pretty solid. Um, so all in all, well, my reflection on it is the with how little ball they had and how much errors they made in that game. Yeah, it's only a trial, but at the same time, like they only had like 43% possession, and they only completed at 66%, which is like pretty bad. So to only end up going down 26-18 is actually, I thought was actually quite a positive result in that way. I reckon in the past couple of years, like last year and the year before, if they had have only had that much ball and only completed at 66%, they would have conceded close to 50 points in past those last couple of seasons. So to only concede 26 and to still score 18, yeah, I thought that was actually pretty positive in that way. But yeah, so that's the trials. I suppose a quick kind of like a preview for this year. 2025 games, as probably most of you already know by now anyway. Junior Tupou from the Tigers, Fini Fuiaki from the Cowboys, Daniel Saifidi from the Knights, Max Finai from the Dragons. So yeah, then the 2025 losses, I suppose it's probably more than what they really want. Some of them don't matter too much, but TPJ went to the Catalans Dragons. Well, we knew he was going anyway. Not going to be at the Dolphins in 25 anyway. He'll probably end up at South under Wayne, probably in 26. Edric Lee retired. Ewan Aitken went to South with Wayne Bennett. I heard a little story. I heard his kind of like story of how that happened on the Bloke podcast that he was on with Dan Kemp. Basically saying that Dolphins were probably a little bit slow. I don't think he worded it exactly that way, but they were taking a while coming to him with a contract anyway, and it was like the day after Wayne signed to become the South coach from 25. Basically, the next day that Wayne turned up at training, and was like, "Oh, I'll offer you a 3-year deal at South," and that's pretty much how that move to South for Ewan Aitken came about. Jared Wallace went to Catalans. Was released. Was it during the middle of this year? Middle of 2024. Played at Catalans Dragons and then retired. Jesse Bromwich retired, as we all know, after the end of the 2024 season. Tessie New went to Lee Leopards, or has gone to Lee Leopards over in the Super League. Big Valence Tafari went to Japanese Rugby. Jeremiah Simican, Castleford Tigers. And then Anthony Milford unsigned. He's actually gone to South Logan Magpies in the Q Cup, one of the Broncos feeder clubs. Doubt he'd get a run at Broncos anyway. Still doubt he'll get a run at the Broncos anyway. Robert Jennings was unsigned, and also Lockie Hubner went to South, and Jerome Burns went to South. And then the last thing I'll probably go through is like the Dolphins home games in 2025. So round 1, South at Suncorp. Round 3, we got West Tigers at KO Stadium, Redcliffe. Then Battle of Brisbane against the Broncos in round 4. Penrith Panthers in round 6. Melbourne Storm in round 7. the Warriors in round 11, then Dragons in round 14, round 16 Knights, but that's over in Perth at HBF Park. Cowboys in round 20, Roosters in round 23, and then obviously the Titans in round 26, and the final game of the year will be at KO Stadium against the Raiders. I think that's just about all to go through in this one. Probably be doing this a bit more regularly now. It's been like a couple of months since the last video I did. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed that. If you do, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, so that way you get that'll help the channel grow on YouTube. And anyone out there who plays or is interested in playing Supercoach at all, I've got a league, a head-to-head league as well, where the code is 141366. I'll repeat that. It's the code's 141366. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Fins up.